Pace car is in. Field is under Eckrich's control. Here we go. Green flag back into the air for the start of our race at Sonoma. Eckrich with a great jump. He's going to climb the hill into turn 1 first by a big advantage over Chad Coleman and Justin Fuller.
Watch out, entering turn 1. Don't want to dive bomb it. Watch your braking.
He's coming out on the other side just fine on that wide camera angle. Looks like everybody's going to work their way through turn 1 for the first time fine. I don't see any dust even being kicked up, so bravo to these drivers out there. And there you see on screen, battle for the 14th position. Josh King, a pre-race interview, overtaking Nick Cohan in some new colors this week. Typically, we're used to Cohan.
Oh, no! Justin Fuller! Wrecking!
Oh, that car's pretty much wadded up. Caution is out! Jesse Vinson is an in-race admin. He has thrown the caution just because of the position there of Fuller. Fuller's just going to let them all go by. Oh, did he catch maybe that inside wall?
He may have. I believe here comes everybody towards pit road.
Everybody except Jake Wright. Jake Wright's going to stay on track. Let's see here. Ricky Harden's going to stay out as well. Mellendorf, Rahula. Josh King has stayed out. That's the other thing that you might see on these road courses. Some of these guys might just stay out because they have their strategy in mind. Anyways, here we go. And Jake Wright's onto the loud pedal. Green flag back into the air. We're back underway at Sonoma.
What a good jump by Jake Wright there. I mean, he's all by himself out there. And just a quick update on the Scott Eckrich. He had to let a car by before they went green flag racing, and he let the officials know he was going to get black flag because he wasn't going to make it up to the tail end of the field at the time. So hopefully they'll get all that cleared up there, and they do.
We got a battle for the lead going on here. Wright has caught Carroll. And they're both caught behind the lap car of King. Oh,
Carroll's in.
And here goes Carroll to pit road.
Battle coming to the finish here. Almost contact. Slide job between Ricky Harden and James Carroll. Harden. Oh no.
Oh boy, that's going to move Krahula up to 7. If he can get through turns 10 and 11, he will become the 3-time winner on the season. He's working his way towards turn 11 this time. Rolling into it nice and easy. Easy like Sunday morning, if you will, to quote another song. He's coming off of turn 11. Jake Wright is going to win the Big Sky Bat Dogs 175K at Sonoma for his 3rd win of the year.
The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and think he missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Hello race fans, Jonathan Cadell here, driver of the number 11 Stillhorse TV Toyota Camry, proud sponsors of tonight's Firecracker 200. At Stillhorse TV, I provide live, unfiltered, unedited, in-car iRacing action. But since this is a PG commercial, let's keep it that way.
You've got to be kidding me. That damage now, whole night. That dumb
So if you're ever looking for some raw racing action, or just want a laugh at my expense, grab your favorite drink and head on over to twitch.tv/StillhorseRacingTV and enjoy the fun.
Summertime in Daytona Beach for its residents and tourists typically involve warm weather, fireworks, and cool beverages. For the drivers of the AdvoCare Cup Series, it marks a return to Daytona International Speedway, a track that kicked off this explosive season. Jake Wright struck early and was on pole for the Daytona 300 and won his dual race. But as the race unfolded, it ended with a one-lap shootout where Dan Murray fought off all chargers and brought his car to Gatorade Victory Lane. Tonight we go under the lights for a summertime staple of the schedule. Daytona at night is equally as exciting and chaotic as it is in the daytime. Who will take home the victory tonight, celebrating in Victory Lane as the fireworks paint a backdrop to success? Who will end up in the garage wondering where it all went wrong? And has James Krahula learned how to merge into Turn 3 correctly? We will have all of those answers for you live on our flag-to-flag coverage of the Steel Horse Racing TV Firecracker 200. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazek. I may not look like I know what I'm saying, but I really do. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Tanner Sharp. In the production truck, spinning the dials, cranking the knobs, and drinking beverages with little umbrellas is Amjad Yaman, who is using cameras provided to us by Dougie Beard. Tanner, we are back in Daytona for a return trip to the beach, and so far the plate races have provided finishes that are highlight reel worthy. What awaits us tonight at Daytona?
Fireworks, Brian, all fireworks. Fireworks in the race and fireworks after the race. In the race, you're going to see guys going to try to go 3 wide, stay in the draft, and try to keep the lead, try to block both lanes. Tempers may be flared tonight, and fireworks will erupt. Here tonight on the 2.5 mile D-shaped oval, which was built in 1959 by Mr. Bill French. 31 degrees of banking in the corners, 18 degrees on the front stretch in the tri-oval. That is about as steep as a ranch house, for example. 82 degrees air temperature and 82 degrees track temperature, so the track's nice and cool tonight, so that's going to be a good thumbs up for the tires. 80 laps, it's about half the distance of the real-life Coke Zero 400, so these guys are going to try to play it a little safe in the early run, but watch towards the end of the race. These guys are going to be drafting like crazy, trying to make it 3 wide situations, and try to get up there as quickly as possible to win this race. Anybody in this field can win it tonight. Before we go into any more details into our stories here tonight, let's check out our chase standings after Sonoma. Scott Eckrich will lead this chase standings thus far with 565 points and 4 wins on top of the chase leaderboard. Jake Wright sitting in second with 3 wins. Mr. Excitement himself in second. Or not in second, he has 2 wins, sitting in third. Jonathan Cadell has a win. He's in fourth. James Krahula in fifth. Tommy Ryan in sixth. Ricky Harden in seventh. Ryan Howard in eighth. Dan Murray in ninth. And rounding out the top 10, who doesn't have a win yet, but he could get a win tonight, Matt Lacrosse.
That is the case. Nick Cohan, another driver looking for a strong finish at Daytona Beach in 11th in points. Rhett McBride, 12th. Rich Jetty in 13th. Don Runkle Jr. in 14th. Airman Rick Thompson sitting 15th in points. And Josh King is holding the final spot in the chase, and he's going to actually get a little bit of a cushion tonight because Paul Pepper, Calvin Filarski, Chad Stallman, and Jody Green are all not here tonight, at least so far into the session. So that gap that Josh is going to have over that group of people, that's going to grow. But then you got to look at drivers like Alec Marshall, which are probably just outside the top 20, trying to get in when everybody in front of you decides to not show up for one reason, way, shape, or form or the other. You get a great opportunity to gain some points, jump some positions, and really try to make a splash on everything to make enough beach puns in one night. So as we see on screen, field is wrapping up practice and getting ready to fire off their qualifying time and qualifying laps. We will have in our post-race or pre-race interview booth, we will have Jonathan Cadell and Jason Swan both. Once again, we're going to kind of do a double up. We had a lot of fun with that at Sonoma, and we're going to do it again here in Daytona. But with both of those drivers representing Steel Horse Racing and Steel Horse Racing presenting the race tonight, kind of goes hand in hand. Just like fireworks and hot dogs. There's another one for you.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, I'm telling you, this is where I'm in for some exciting racing here tonight, Brian, at Daytona. I mean, you're talking pack racing, and in these 2016 draft package that these guys will be running tonight on the iRacing service. And man, I'm telling you, guys are going to try to race early. Some guys are going to hang in the back, wait for the big one to happen. Just so much strategy going on, but how do you win this race is going to be the biggest question.
It is. A lot of people compare plate racing in the AdvoCare Cup Series and the Sprint Cup Series to much of the luck of a dice. You know, if it rolls your way just right, find yourself in the right position. Look back at Talladega. Josh Parker and Jeff Ryan, they were both coming out of turn 4, and a big wreck kind of happened around them. And Parker, Kevin Vlarski is here. Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry, squirrel. You know, he found himself in the right place at the right time with the right draft, and he got himself a win. So that's kind of the unpredictability of plate racing. You've got 80 laps on tap tonight, and you could run 79 and a half of those laps just perfectly and keep all 4 corners of the car clean and not hit a thing. But then as soon as you get down to maybe turn 3, that's where you're going to see, you know, you might see a guy knock you up out of the way and put you into the fence. I think we saw that last night in the Premier Racing League's Coastal Safety Auditors Grand National Division, where James Krahula and Paul Pepper fought to the line, and it was Krahula ending up on the short end of that stick. So there is just a degree of random. I mean, there's really no other way around it.
There is no other way around it. I don't care what anybody says. When you do a restrictor plate racing on iRacing or in real life for that matter, it's always going to be unpredictable. Anybody in the field can win this race. My keys to the race at plate racing is avoid that apron. I've seen a lot of guys here try to they accidentally hit the apron in the middle of the corners of the racetrack. That's 31 degrees of banking to a to a straight flat surface on the apron. You do not want to hit that apron whatsoever. So try to avoid hitting that apron, and that's including the front stretch trial, which is 18 degrees of banking. And don't go below the yellow line, obviously, and try to avoid the side drafting as much as possible. You can use it, but at the same time, if you're being pushed by a whole bunch of guys, you can get up to the front without using the side draft so much.
You see on-screen Chad Coleman coming around for his hot lap. You can always tell when the hot lap versus the warm-up lap at Daytona, because the hot lap, they are right painted to that yellow line. Let's see where Coleman goes as he comes across the stripe up to third. Right now, pole position is being held by Woodrow Mahan. Let's see. He's done his laps, so we'll see if he can hold on to that. He had a strong car last night again in the Grand National Division, but the wrecking and the luck of everything just kind of worked against him. So let's see who else is on track here. Danny Sanchez, is he on his warm-up lap? Yeah, he's working his warm-up lap right now.
And I'm seeing a whole bunch of other guys that have qualified so far. Matt Lacrosse, who I just talked about, that's sitting in the top 10, but he does not have a win yet this season. He is currently qualified in the 6th position. That might change as qualifying continues here. Joe Hazard in the 7th position. Jeff Ward. Scott Eckridge, how about that? I mean, he's in the 19th position here tonight. I figured he'd have a little more speed than usual. I think he's finishing his out lap right now.
You have to remember, them steel horse racing boys, they like to sit out back and kind of let the race unfold in front of them. There you see Ricky Harden on screen, taking his hot lap, painted right to that yellow line. Don't budge. Swings it up. He's about midway up the straightaway there. So I'll be curious to see where his time ranks in. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get some pre-race interviews. So there's Cadell. I don't want to interrupt these guys when they are doing their lap. Let's see, where's Swanee at?
Got Eckridge to the top of the leaderboard.
There's a shock. All is right in the world.
Oh, he got knocked off there by Tommy Ryan.
Oh, Tommy Reinhart jumping to P1. 20 seconds left to go in qualifying. Who has enough? Who has more speed? Well, we'll find out. So anyways, as we kind of talked about, let's bring our pre-race interviews in. We've got Jonathan Cadell and Jason Swan both in the booth. Gentlemen, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Got you loud and clear.
All right. Well, we'll start with you because you answered first and Swanee isn't. So starting out back here a little bit, what's your? I know you steel horse boys. You like to run the race, just kind of let it unfold in front of you. Is that kind of the plan tonight?
I know that's what I normally do at restrictor plate tracks. I'm usually no good hanging out in the front because I can't get quite to the front, so I'll get caught up in the big one if it happens. So usually hanging out in the back isn't the worst idea. Let the race come to you towards the end and avoid all the big wrecks.
That is the goal. I mean, how much is that big wreck, the big one? How much does that weigh on your mind in the cockpit of these cars?
Every second of the race, you're always waiting for it to happen.
Swanee, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, there's Swanee. Swanee, you didn't even take a time in qualifying. So is that kind of your strategy as well? Just hang out back with Cadell?
Yeah, just kind of let the race play out, and just try to survive the first half, and then we'll go from there.
And we got 80 laps on the docket tonight. This is for either one or whoever wants to come in first. 80 laps tonight, a little shorter of an event. If it gets down to when do you think your go mark is? I guess that'll be my question. When it gets down into the race, when do you say, all right, no more pussyfooting around, let's go?
I would say after halfway.
Halfway. What about you, Jonathan?
About the same. Maybe a little bit closer towards the end of the race. It just depends.
Gotcha. Tanner, I think you said you had something that you wanted to ask either one of these guys.
Yeah, I'd like to ask both of you drivers something. But before I get into the main question here, did you guys get any drafting practice out there before the qualifying?
Got a little bit, just enough to know what we can and can't do. So yeah, we'll try to take what we learned a little bit in practice, but for the most part, you learn as you go in these restrictor plate races because we don't have enough time to practice with the whole field,
Exactly, and my question with regarding to the drafting, now I understand some drivers on the service of iRacing and throughout the whole community of iRacing have been pretty frustrated by the draft package in the Gen 6 cars. They don't suck up to the back bumper, as fast, and you're kind of playing that follow leader deal. Is the drafting package better in this newer build that recently came out not too long ago? Is it better than what it has been all season long, or is it pretty much the same?
I don't really notice too much of a difference. What do you think, Swanee?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I agree with you. It's not that much of a difference.
Okay, so with all that being said, track position might be key towards the end of the race here if drafting is that hard in these cars to make.
Now, folks at home, we have Jonathan Cadell week in and week out posts his stream, his viewpoint on there. We've got that linked in our chat, so if you want to go on there and click that out, and you can either go on Twitch and type and search for Steel Horse Racing TV. You got the same handle on YouTube, right?
I actually do not have the same handle on YouTube, but if you go into YouTube Gaming, I'm one of the only guys that are live right now.
Well, there you go. That's quick and easy. That's easy enough for a Pollock like me to figure out. All right, guys. Looks like the drivers' meeting is just getting ready to wrap up. Everybody's starting to head to their cars, so we'll let you guys go. Any final thoughts tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to just say thanks to you guys for broadcasting this thing every week and showcasing everybody's hobby we have, and thanks to Cadell for all that he does with the Twitch feed, and like you said, if anybody wants to have some good entertainment, go watch the Twitch feed. It's outstanding.
My sentiments exactly.
And Cadell also has the unrated version of his stream as well. So if you don't like us being a little PG, go over there and you might learn a new word, actually.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good luck. We'll see you back on the other side, all right?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All righty. Oh, now we got everything caught back up. Drivers' meeting is wrapping up. We got about 40 seconds to green. Really, that's kind of what we got. I mean, we talked about different strategies, but really what it's going to boil down to is being at the right place at the right time at the end of this one.
Yeah, definitely. And before we get into any other topics regarding here tonight at Daytona, let's ask one question here. Can we see a photo finish like we did at Talladega earlier this year? In my opinion, I think we can. I mean, Daytona does have a history, even in real life, of photo finishes here. I mean, anybody remember 2007 Pepsi 400? Kyle Busch and Jamie McMurray. I mean, things like that can happen. So I'm really looking forward to this race, and maybe if we get late race caution to set up them photo finishes.
Yeah, I mean, there have been countless dual races in Daytona for setting the starting order for the Daytona 500 that have ended in a photo finish as well. So, yeah, Daytona is known for them close, exciting finishes. But now that everything's starting to wrap up and grid up, let's go through the field here. Tommy Ryan on pole, with Scott Eckridge to his outside in second place. Jeff Ryan, strong qualifying effort, had a strong showing at Talladega as well. He's third. Woodrow Mahan in fourth. Fifth goes to Ricky Harden. Sixth to last week's winner, Jake Wright. Chad Coleman in seventh. James Grahula in eighth. Matt Lacrosse in ninth. And Big Joe Hasser in 10th.
And outside the top 10, Jeff Ward in the 89 will start 11th tonight. Norm Pelletier will start 3rd. Gerald Livingston starts 13th tonight. Jason Galvin 14th. Rich Jetty starting 15th there. Mr. Excitement himself, Drew Carroll, is going to round off in 16th here. Travis McQueeston in 17th. Don Runkle Jr. in 18th. 19th is Calvin Filarski. And rounding out the top 20 is Jonathan Cadell.
21st, matching the car number, Blackjack, Nick Cohan. 22nd, his teammate, Alec Marshall. Marshall will rise. Hashtag that on social media. 23rd to Danny Sanchez. Josh Parker, the Talladega winner. 24th, 25th. We talked to him ahead of time in the race. Jason Swan. DJ Beverly, 26th. And Mark Norbert, shotgun on the field in 27th.
Well, Brian, butterflies?
Now you just made me think of the Reading Rainbow theme, so that's going to be bouncing through my head tonight. You know what? Being up in the booth gives me enough butterflies for these guys. Driving plate races is one whole thing. I mean, I raced last night in the Grand National Series here, and I think I had a death grip on the wheel until I was unfortunately caught up in the first wreck. So, 80 laps is a lot around here. Doesn't seem like a lot when you weigh it out against some of the race distances of some of our other events this year, but 80 laps around Daytona is going to weigh a lot on these drivers as now they start to roll. What is Eckrich doing?
I'm cutting over.
I think I know what he's doing.
I want to start in the back. Oh.
He's going to try to start out back. You can do that at any track on the iRacing service that you start on pit road. If you pull off to the left in pit road, you basically forfeit your position and go all the way to the back. Now, he's probably trying to hook up with some of his Steel Horse Racing teammates back there as he takes out the green cone on his way out.
I mean, that's the only thing that took out. He almost chopped the nose off of the 3rd and 4th place cars. That would have been Jeff Ryan and Woodrow Mahan, but no harm, no foul.
Exactly. Field working their way off of turn 2. This is when you start getting excited as a driver. You can see turn 3 ahead of you. This is where you start trying to think, when do I make my moves? How do I plan this? Who's my friend? Who's, made me angry at some of the other events? Who do I not help? But Woodrow Mahan sitting out there, he's strong at these plate races. He has a win in the Grand National Series at Talladega earlier this season as well. So he was strong last night as well. So I expect that that 07 machine up there in the second position to try to make a little bit of noise tonight. Then you got Jake Wright, Jeff Ryan. You got an unacceptable racing kind of bottom row there. So you got Tommy Ryan, Jeff Ryan, and Ricky Harden. And if there's enough of a gap, Krahula's going to shoot down there and make that 4 unacceptable racing drivers in a row. So that's not going to be good news for Woodrow and Jake. But field comes off of turn 4. Ford Mustang pace car looking to get out of the way and turn the field loose. And it's away. Green flag is out. We're underway at Daytona at the Steel Horse Racing TV Firecracker 200. Not a big jump, as you don't want to get too big of a lead in these restrictor plate races, but Jake Wright is closer to Woodrow Mahan than Jeff Ryan is to Tommy Ryan. Will the top lane prevail as they climb the banking in Daytona for the first time?
Tell you what, if he doesn't use that side draft so much and that 27 of Jake Wright can stay on that back bumper, they may pull away. Nah, maybe not. That inside row seems extremely strong right now.
2 by 2, 5 rows deep as the field thunders into turn 3. Woodrow Mahan poking his nose out just a little bit, not enough to clear himself from Tommy Ryan. Tommy Ryan fights back on the low side. There's the unspoken rule that if you're the pole winner, you have to try to lead the first lap. And I think coming off of turn 4, that's going to be... Well, no. Jake Wright's
he's
run.
coming. He's
Here
coming
they
back.
Go. At the line, it's Mahan.
Mahan.
And that was lap 1, folks.
I tell you what, Tommy Ryan was the leader off 4, but coming to the line, it was Mahan.
Exactly. His field still has not thinned out. You've got 2 by 2 for the first 3 rows, 4 rows. And it starts to break out as Matt Lacrosse and Norman Pelletier come off of turn 3 or turn 2. They settle into the backstretch. Look at this camera angle. This is my favorite one. Looking up from turn 3 as you see the field snake off of turn 4 down the backstretch. Back out front though, Mahan. He is not abandoning Jake Wright. He had enough room in turn 3 to jump down in front of Ryan. but he's just not going to abandon his drafting partner this early.
Oh, man, he might be coming back on the outside row. Maybe not. Maybe Tommy Ryan can finally lead a lap here in Daytona as the pole sitter, and he does.
There it is, across the line. There's our second lead change in 2 laps. You've got the Ryans on bottom. You've got Woodrow, Wright, Krahula up there. There's Harden sitting there in the 5th position. There's really no popcorn position here at Daytona. Everybody is out there, but let's see.
Popcorn position could be 27th.
Yeah, which actually right now is Josh Parker, who it says he was connected. Is he still sitting on pit road, or is he just not?
He's not even in the race, so I mean 26th.
Well, so yeah, 26th. That'd be Gerald Livingston. He's sitting right out back, just watching everything happen in front of him. Off of turn 4 again, Ryan prevails. He's got the other Ryan behind him.
Man, where are you going to go, Brian? I mean, that outside lane's pretty much all jacked up with cars, including that inside row, so you might as well stay single file on back.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, that's really what it boils down to is when these guys get 2 by 2. That third lane, if you'd really need a lot of help up there to make a third lane work, and this early in the race, I don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening this early in a race, but you got to also take in consideration Daytona is more narrower than what Talladega is, so it's a little harder to work 3 wide at this racetrack, especially on the iRacing sim. So these drivers got their work cut out for them tonight.
As they do, still a great battle up front.
Man,
riding on board, looking out the side pot of Jake Wright. He's looking at the rides and he's pushing Woodrow Mahan into the lead for that lap. So give that lap to Mahan. We're looking still on more. There we go. Now we're back to this wide angle shot. The top lane's starting to prevail just a little bit. They've got more cars up there, 4 versus 3, with Big Joe Hassert sliding into the back there, just like Big Joe does, really.
Man, look at that. I mean, that 07, when he gets on the backstretch, he gets legs, man. He just goes, and he's got Jake Wright all over him. He's clear. He could take that inside row if he really wanted to, but he decides not to abandon Jake Wright and stays to the high side. That allows Tommy Ryan underneath him once again.
Woodrow Mahan has legs, and he knows how to use them, as the ZZ Top song says, but this time it's Ryan prevailing on the bottom to lead another lap. So early on, feverish pace. Now here's the thing, is behind this, we've got, again, 2 by 2 for probably the first top 10 position. And surprisingly enough, Drew Carroll sitting back there. That time he came across the line in 11th. Right now he's side by side with Norman Pelletier. He's going to try to work the bottom, but that's where this starts to thin out a little bit. I mean, you look at Calvin Filarski back there in 16th. Don Runkle Jr. right behind him. The field really is starting to thin out back here, and a lot of guys are just riding. That's where you're going to find pretty much the entire Steel Horse campaign, starting with Nick Cohan in 19th. Because look behind him, you've got Cadell, you've got Marshall, Sanchez, Swanee, and Eckrich. So all of Steel Horse Racing is finding out they're just hanging out back here.
Biggest mover of the race so far is DJ Beverly in the O2. Started 26th tonight. Did not take a qualifying time. He's up to 18th, doing everything he can to stay up with the 2 cars ahead of him. That is Don Runkle Jr. and Calvin Filarski. That is sitting in the 16th and 17th positions.
I'm still looking out front. This is incredible racing. As the top line starting to fall apart just a little bit. It's Wright and Mahan sitting up there by themselves. Rahul is up there, but he's not close enough to make a difference. This is going to allow Tommy Ryan to prevail out just a little bit as Jeff Ryan drifts up off of 4 just a little.
I'm telling you what, this is frustrating as a driver because I've been hearing James Krahula's throttle here. He is full throttle, but he is not close to that back bumper of Jake Wright. Even though he's full throttle, his car is not sucking up the way it should be, and that's just the draft package, and that's the frustration of a driver too at these plate tracks in these Gen 6 cars.
Well, he doesn't have any help behind. Norton Pelletier back there, but he's about 2 car lengths off the rear bumper. So that top line starts to fall apart. Drew Carroll jumps up there. He's deciding to get up there and have some fun.
I called him DJ. Holy cow. Well, that's
Jeff Ward getting up there as well. So now the top line starting to reform just a little bit with the addition of Krahula and with the addition of Carroll and Ward.
And, I mean, the spotter of Jake Wright's got to be saying, hey, man, you got helps with you, and you guys got a line behind you, and you guys are battling for pretty much the race lead here.
And you're going to watch that line start to form up and push the 07, the 27, the 87. Oh, you got to have a 7, remember, to be in the top 3. You're going to see those guys push ahead. Looks like Tommy was drifting off the bottom, maybe trying to pull a little bit side draft, slow that top lane down, but it's just not going to work as he retreats back down to the bottom.
Tell you what, top 17 cars, you can fold over a blanket because top 17 are in one big pack, but not too far behind is DJ Beverly. Meanwhile, up front here, Woodrow Mahan, can he beat him to the line once again? How many lead changes is this going to be?
That's a great question. We're going to have to keep up with that one as the race progresses, but right now, there you see the top
what a
lane.
move!
Comes down to the bottom. So now Woodrow Mahan, Jake Wright finally drift up into the top 2 positions. But what that does is that hangs Carroll, Ward, Krahula. That leaves everybody hanging out to dry as we look off the rear bumper of Woodrow.
They're going to need quite a few more guys to get that high line working again because I don't think 2, 3, or 4 is really going to cut it. But what a move by Woodrow Mahan and Jake Wright to take the race lead. Now they are in control of the race.
That was a power move from the 07 and the 27. Get out front. Now they've got unacceptable racing back there in 3rd, 4th, and 5th rather than battling with them for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So as it sits right now, the field's starting to thin out in the top 3 just a little bit. And if they stay side by side back there between Carroll and Ryan, that's going to allow that top 3 to actually move away just a little bit.
Not really seen the top line using too much of a side draft. If they were really doing side draft, they'd be much closer than what they actually are. It seems like that top line gets some legs on the back stretch, but by the time they hit the middle of the corner of 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, the inside lane kind of prevails just a little bit.
Carson Abe, our in-race admin, warning the drivers to keep those tires above the yellow line. There's no passing below that double yellow line. So the admin is watching.
Yeah, here comes Drew Carroll to the outside, bound for 2nd place and looking for more.
He got a great push from Jeff Ward in the 89, and that's what's letting him get up there. That's going to allow that top lane to reform just a little bit. Now, from the top lane, you might not be able to side draft that good, but if you can pinch them down off the corner, they'll kill the momentum off the corner for these guys and allow you to try to pull away on the top. But right now, it's Carroll and Ward trying to make it work all by themselves.
Yeah, you don't want to pinch them down too much because you're technically just forcing them on the apron of the racetrack. But I like this. I like how Drew Carroll is exiting the corner nice and wide at times. That's allowing him to get a nicer run towards the leaders.
That it is. He's kind of arcing that just a little bit. Now you're seeing the 87 and the 89 pull up close to Woodrow and Wright. Now we've got 4 cars back battling for the lead side by side. 3 rows deep. This is fantastic racing we're seeing.
James Krahula still on an outside road, pretty much where he started on the grid. He's trying to help Jeff Ward and Drew Carroll. Otherwise, it's pretty much nobody behind James Krahula there.
No, that top lane. But here's the thing: is if you can pinch and you can draft and you can side draft, you can keep that up there by yourselves. 3 cars is about the minimum that you can get by with to try to make the top lane work. And there you see Woodrow start to squeak ahead out of 4. Give Woodrow another lap lead here.
Matt Lacrosse was trying to do everything he can to stick with the guys in the outside lane, but he has fallen deep pack well outside the top 10 and losing more position. So I think with he has somebody helping out there, 2 guys coming out to help.
And looking back in the field, you were talking about the top 17, top 21 drivers are separated by 1.8 seconds. So just let that sink in. Back there is Alec Marshall, Nick Cohan, and Jonathan Cadell just riding shotgun, riding caboose on the end of this train. Just seeing if there's a wreck in front of them, they're trying to give themselves some time to react and make the right maneuver. And back off of them about 5 seconds is Danny Sanchez, Scott Eckrich, and Jason Swan. So again, giving themselves some room. Long race for these guys tonight. 80 laps. We're already 15 into it too. So you can't.
Whoa, Carroll. He led that lap last time by.
Oh boy, that caused a little breakup up front.
I apologize for interrupting there, Brian, but I didn't realize Drew Carroll had such of a big run coming off turn number 4. He got up there and he will lead that last lap. Woodrow Mahan battling on the inside row along with Jake Wright. James Krahula will come down to help. What a nice move by James Krahula, get in front of Tommy Ryan, our pole sitter.
Now see, as we're 15 laps into this run, I feel that the field window is somewhere between 25 and 26 laps tonight. So that's going to keep this in mind. We're well beyond halfway through a field run, so I'll be curious to see. I don't think the nighttime hurts tires as much as the daytime version of Daytona, but still, pinching down to the bottom, I would think that Wright and Mahan and now Krahula and Ryan, How did Krahula go from top to bottom? I must have missed that somehow.
Yeah, that was on the backstretch just before where I said James really got in front of Tommy Ryan there. He's now moving up to the third position as that top line's pretty much fading. Carroll squeezes in, makes a hole. That's going to leave Jeff Ward out to dry pretty much.
Yeah,
no
all
help.
by himself.
Back. Until you find a place to line.
That's pretty much as we're looking out the left side window here of Jeff Ward. And you're just going to see it's a freight train below him. He's got nowhere to go. I mean, really, his only help is Don Runkle back there in the about 13-ish, 17, somewhere between that. Timing and scoring doesn't catch up that quick.
I always joke around saying clowns to the left of me and a wall to my right, and here I am falling back.
That's there you go. There's Jeff Ward finding a little bit of reprieve back there with Don Runkle, Calvin Pilarski, Norman Pelletier.
Hey, that might be a good. They got like 5 cars on the outside lane back there. I mean, if they could get those 5 cars and go to the front.
And here's the impressive part is that now the whole field is pretty much thinned out until you get back there to Jeff Ward. I mean, you've got one snake on the bottom that is about, let's see, Chad Coleman in 8th is at the very tail end of that. And then I believe that's Hassert. He's kind of at the tail, and they're starting to double up behind him.
Yeah, that outside lane's moving forward just little by little there, and you got about 5-6 cars on the outside lane back there. And I'm telling you, they test each other early as far as the drafting is concerned. And right now they are pretty much in a position to where, okay, I'm on the outside lane. You know, can I get some guys to help out on this outside lane, or am I going to fall to the rear of the field to the tail end?
Well, what I'm going to be curious of now is with 80 laps, you can't make it. It's almost a 2-stop race. I think it pretty much is going to be a 2-stop race, maybe even a 3-stop race on field. Do you see anybody maybe peel off here on lap 20? And decide to go 20, 40, and then maybe pit on 60 and then run it to the end?
It definitely could. I mean, I've definitely seen it happen. Some guys short pit just a little bit. But keep in mind on pit road, anybody can get run over entering pit road because you have to understand you're transitioning from 199 miles an hour to 60 miles an hour. 60 miles an hour is the pit road speed. So, I mean, that's really tough to do. So what I always try to do is go as far to the inside wall as possibly, as much as I can without hitting it, so I don't get run over.
Not a bad strategy. Get out of Dodge while you can.
Yep.
Coming around, working lap 20 right now. If there's anybody that might try an alternate strategy, I'd be
that Highline's working with 2
racing.
cars.
Yeah, Joe Hazard, Jeff Ward back there. Look at them go.
Pit stops.
Oh, who's that? That's Cadell. Oh, look at that. Steel Horse deciding to do the 20 laps, the 20 lap strategy.
Don't speed.
Yeah, Cohan, Marshall, Eckrich. Now I'll be curious. 2 tires, 4 tires? What's the call?
I would take 2 tires right now. I mean, if it was daytime, maybe 4, but right now I would take 4 or 2. Excuse me, and they do take 2 rights.
2 tires from everybody. So now they're going to wind up. The nice part is the field's working their way down the backstretch right now, going into turn 3, and these guys are exiting off of pit road, so they're going to be able to maintain being on the lead lap.
Tell you what, now who comes in this time by?
Nobody that I'm seeing. Jason Swan, Don Runkle. Nope, Swan's just leaving pit road, and he's going to get lapped.
Don Runkle's got some damage, folks.
I heard him come across the radio and say he caught the wall a little bit, but I didn't see. Oh yeah, a little bit beaten up on the right side there.
But I tell you what, he's Mr. Lonely on pit road because you always want a drafting partner on pit road, and that is not the case for Don Runkle Jr. So very unfortunate for him tonight.
Yep. And then so yeah, here's your leaders right now with Woodrow Mahan leading. Jake Wright.
Oh! DJ Beverly got really loose from the number 56 Norm Pelletier. What a save by DJ.
Good save. Scott Eckrich going a lap down. How many times have I been able to say that this year? I bet you can count it on about 2 fingers.
Yeah, I mean, he did pit, though, so...
He pitted, and judging by his lap time, no, he took 2 tires. I think he just got hung out there. I think something happened when they went onto pit road, and I think he had to react or something, because he and Swanee were separated on track.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he could have reacted to something, or, I mean, he may have overdrove in his pit stop. Who knows? But right now, he has a lap down. Oh, he's getting shoved below the yellow line. Don't want to do that. He's out of control just a little bit. Car's backing off. He's got some rear damage from that.
Oh boy, damage is not what you want here. This place is super aero sensitive.
Oh yeah, definitely. And aerodynamics at a restricted plate track like this means absolutely everything.
Here's the problem with that early pitting strategy from Cadell, Cohan, and Marshall is that 3 cars by themselves is not outrunning the pack. I mean, they're about a second off on the lap time, and there you see right there, not a big gap between those guys. I mean, it's basically they're going into turn 3 right now. They're coming out of the other side of turn 4. They're not that far in front of the leader. That's what I'm trying to say. But if it cycles through, they should be all right. But let's see. Who else is going to be diving off the pit road? Nobody this time.
I'm expecting some of these...
McQuistion, Filarski, and Norman Pelletier. Who's onto the binders? Ooh, boy.
I'm expecting these guys to be making pit stops within the next lap or two. I mean, it's 25 laps approximately.
Jake Wright saying he's going to hit pit road.
All right.
How is Mahan going to react now and come with them? Just as soon as I said that, he came across the radio.
Oh, man, this is going to get dicey.
He's gonna, pit road's about to be very, very busy. Here comes Carroll.
All right, take a deep breath. Let's see what happens. Don't run into each other.
And interesting strategy. Woodrow and... Oh, boy, here comes everybody to pit road.
Oh, no! Oh, no,
Jeff Ward backwards. He's into the inside wall.
Oh, no.
Jeff Ryan is in there. Did everybody else get through that? What happened to Ward, though?
Oh, man, they were all coming down pit road. Oh, it looked like Jeff Ward made a last-minute decision. Came across the nose of Ricky
Came
Harden.
right across Ricky Harden. There's the inside wall.
That may have been a last-minute decision on Jeff Ward.
Wow. 4 tires for Woodrow and Wright. 2 tires for a bunch of other drivers that hit pit road.
Here we go, right here. He's on the bottom side, not clear, and looks like he makes the last-minute decision.
Yeah, and that forces Harden to stay out.
Oh, yeah, he's going to lose a lot of momentum, though.
And now the rest of the leaders, Matt Lacrosse, Chad Coleman, Tommy Ryan, Ricky Harden, Rich Jetty, have all hit pit road. I'll be curious to see. Now, here's the issue with taking 2 tires and nobody else does. James Krahula is all by himself. Go ahead, look. All by himself. He got no drafting help.
He's playing that Mr. Lonely song.
Yeah, the pack's about to catch it. Here comes McQuistion and Norm, Storm and Norman.
Oh my goodness! Look at this! Look at this! James Krahula, he's staying out by himself.
He was on pit road, but I think he took 2 tires and everybody else took 4.
Oh boy!
Now, let's see who that cycles out. Jeff Ryan he was the big loser in all that. He's down a lap now. So is Gerald Livingston and Mark Norbert. Gerald Livingston getting out of the way. But I think here's going to come your lead pack. Chad Coleman trying to get up in front of the pack, and that's not going to happen.
He tried.
Oh, Matt Lacrosse is slow. He's going to force him to go left and right of him. He's trying to find the bottom. Oh, they're 3 wide. There's Carroll with a run all by himself.
Oh, that was exciting, Drew.
Oh, they're spinning number 2. Is that DJ Beverly?
Yep, DJ Beverly, hard hit.
Hard into the inside wall, but I don't think that's going to bring out a caution. Oh, let's go check out the GSRC replay there.
Hey, gone. What happened there? That was a 3 wide off of turn number 4. He got clipped in the left rear quarter panel from Matt Lacrosse. Hard hit to the inside wall of the safer barrier down there.
Well, you know what? That little ploy worked out perfectly, actually, for Krahula. He was by himself for about a lap, and now that I've tuned back in, Ricky Harden, Jeff Ryan, James Krahula are your top 3, and he's got Rich Jetty in 4th, just hanging off the back of that pack. And then you've got Filarski, Cadell, McQuistion, Cohan, Carroll, Woodrow Mahan, Norm Pelletier, Joe Hassert, Alec Marshall, Jake Wright. They're all in that second pack.
Think that big pack is going to catch them?
Well, more cars is always faster, but they got to get lined up. They can't be running side by side like Cohan and McQuistion are.
I completely agree. Rich Jetty, he's losing these guys ahead. That's not going to be good because he's going to fall back into the hands of Calvin Filarski and the other boys.
They're still racing here. Looks like Cadell's going to try to jump to the high side of Filarski and hook up with Cohan, the teammate. And
car in the wall. That was the 88 car. Jeff Ryan, I believe that was.
Night's going from bad to worse for him. I believe he's pulling it and parking it.
Wow, he hit the pit wall too.
I believe, yeah, manually disconnected.
Very unfortunate for Jeff Ryan. He had a good qualifying run too.
Started third, yeah.
So they, I should say, the front has pretty much got a. I mean, it's changed up a little bit since what we've seen at the start of the race.
The other thing worth noticing, I mean, there's your top four. That's a pretty good breakaway there. But the second pack, they don't want to run side. They don't want to fall in line.
They don't. Yeah, right now they're just racing right here. In that number 11, Jonathan Cadell, leading that high side.
They're still catching the front pack. It's just they're not catching them as fast as they could be.
What I think is the more cars you have behind you, the faster you're going to go. I don't think the whole single file 3-car deal is really going to be as fast as a huge pack. That's just the way I'm thinking in this plate package here, because if they're catching those top 3, those cars that run single file, I mean, that's saying something right there.
That it is. We were looking out the left bumper of, I think that was Cadell that we were on board with. Yep. Now that top line's starting to break away just a little bit. Cadell, Cohan, and Carroll.
Whoa, boy. 3 wide for the trial,
Don Runkle's going to stay up high. That's gonna kind of leave Carroll out to dry as Cohan and Cadell both decided to dive down to the bottom and start to try to probably pull away from that pack of cars behind them.
Whoa. Close contact between. We got some
Carroll,
nice cars back there.
That's Coleman. That went way below the yellow line.
Yeah, there was contact going on back there as they were trying to get around Don Runkle. That all started between the 27 and the 14.
Don coming on the radio saying he can't get any closer to the wall than he was.
Jake Wright, after that little contact, is falling back just a little bit, trying to get back into the draft. I believe that's Matt Lacrosse right ahead of him.
Yeah, okay, so now the second pack has started. They've figured themselves out, and now they're down to a single file line.
Now that pack will catch the race leaders in a heartbeat soon.
That they will. I mean, they were still, like I said, side by side, they were catching about a tenth a lap. Now I expect that gap to start shrinking by a good margin. Right now, they're 1.6 seconds. Cadell is off of the rear bumper of Jetty.
And that time is shrinking too.
It looks like up top, they were just kind of cycling around up there. That would cost him a little bit more speed. Now the gap is down to 1.3 seconds. They gained 0.3 just in one corner.
Yeah, I bet these guys are trying to communicate just a little bit, saying, come on, guys, let's stay single file. We can catch those race leaders. I know we'd probably be pitting the next 10 laps or so.
Still watching the gap. That's beautiful to see. And the other part to see is, I mean, we have had some action on the track, but nothing serious enough to bring out a caution. We have gone 33 laps completely clean and green. Well,
yeah.
Maybe not completely green or completely clean, but we've done it green.
Yeah, those incidents coming off turn number 4, hitting the inside wall, will not bring out a caution, folks, because if you're new to the iRacing service and you're wondering why that is, cautions only usually occur is if there's a racing incident like that on the racetrack itself, not the apron or pit road. So that's why iRacing itself never threw a caution.
They would have to basically spin up to the top side of the track and not to the bottom of the track. That's
Here we go. They're catching. About a second now.
Listen to a little bit of their in-race chatter. But now that gap is shrinking, 0.8 seconds. I think Cadell is starting to sniff the draft off of the rear of those leaders just a little bit.
Getting there. Man, I'm unsure what kind of strategy. I think something did happen on pit road, though, but that it cost Scott Eckrich a lot of time. He's actually hooked up right now with Jason Galvin. That's just a quick update on the Scott Eckrich fans out there.
Yeah, they're about 16 seconds off of the lead. So that would put them, yeah, right about the start-finish line now, I believe. There you see, looking out the rear of Rich Jetty. That pack behind him is getting closer.
Tell you what, if it's a little ways back and they start going to the outside, if I was Rich Jetty, jump on out there, try to get that outside lane working just a little bit.
Oh, the pack is there now. Jason Swan, even though he's a lap down, he's picked up with his teammate, Cadell. And now that pack has caught the top pack. Are they going to try to ride the wave of momentum up to the top?
Thought about it.
They're poking out a little bit. They're going to check up the bottom line.
Man, look at this snake.
Someone's going to jump up there. There goes McQuestion. He's not afraid to jump up there.
All right, I'll help.
There's
I'll
Carroll.
help out too.
Carroll. There's Woodrow. There we go.
I'll help out too. I'll help out too.
There goes Swan jumping up. Well, Swan, I think maybe Swan is just getting up out of the way now that I think about it.
It's Swan, yeah, it's Swan. I
think he looked around and he and Mark Norbert are the only cars off the lead lap, and Norbert I don't think is anywhere remotely near the 18 right now. So he's pretty safe. You can hang out in the back of the pack, hope for a caution, get your coastal safety out of your lucky dog.
Yeah, that's what he's doing right now. Meanwhile, up front, side-by-side battle for the 5th position, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a battle for 5th right there. Jonathan Cadell and Travis McQuestion. McQuestion side drafting just a little bit, coming down into turn 1. Ricky Harden still your leader. I talked to him before the race, and he was calling his shot, saying he was going to go for it, and he was going to win tonight.
Rich Jetty may have had the opportunity to jump up high, but that's not the case anymore as they go around another lap car up there.
Danny Sanchez jumping up out of the way, so now it's going to be an interesting
battle.
Look at this.
Look at these two cars on the high side here.
Here they go. McQuestion with the push from Carroll. He's worked his way up to 2nd. McQuestion is a name that we haven't talked about at all this year. This is the debut race for that driver of the number 93 machine.
I'm telling you, man, those two cars for the first time all night are working that outside line really well.
It kind of looks like they know what they're doing up there. They've got a plan, and they're sticking to it. Woodrow Mahan, Joe Hassert also jumping up to the top side, back there by Rich Jetty.
Getting help, and now we do got a battle for the race lead.
To the lead. He and Carroll have done that pretty much by themselves. That's an impressive feat at Daytona. I almost said Dale Dega or something.
I think you meant Daytona, as Travis McQuestion has gone to the lead at Daytona.
There he goes in that black Microsoft machine, going out to the front. Oh, he's going to leave Carroll behind. Carroll doesn't have enough. Oh, he's going to make enough room in front of Harden. That's going to hang out Woodrow and Big Joe, but we've seen how strong the driver of that number 07 machine is. He's not afraid to be up there by himself.
And his spotter was probably saying, "You're clear." He's not, but unfortunately, he was clear maybe about an inch.
An inch, mile, quarter of an inch, it's there.
It doesn't matter. It worked.
I agree with Adam Blattle in our chat. I do smell a wreck coming. Here we go. Steel Horse Racing is going to hit pit road. Cadell, Marshall, Cohan, they're going to peel off. They're sticking to that 20 laps on a run. They're trying to just
2 laps.
And I don't think it's a bad strategy at all, because if there's a wreck now, they're on pit road. They're fine. They can cycle back up around to the front.
Exactly. Let's say 2 lefts go up. Yep, 2 lefts.
Oh, that's a strategy.
Yep. Well, hey, it's not bad of a strategy because you're taking less time on your pit stop, and tires are not wearing that much in this cool weather. So, I mean, why not go for 2 tires each stop?
Battle for the lead back out front. We've got McQuestion leading. We've got Carroll up top time. Wow, that was an easy enough sentence for me to say. Up top trying to fight it. Mahan giving the shove to the 87. Come on, man. We got to get back up front. But this time, give another lap to McQuestion.
Yeah, McQuestion, what a great run he had. I mean, he had help from Drew Carroll. He had to do what he had to do to get to the inside and to protect that race lead. And Drew Carroll now getting help from Woodrow Mahan. So far, it's currently working.
Well, folks, we're only halfway.
Yeah, only halfway. And so far, these guys ran pretty much green. Actually, they have ran green flag from the start of the race.
That's an impressive maneuver, and there you see Carroll and Mahan trying to make it work by themselves, still on the outside.
So who's going to check down pit road here? I'm not seeing anybody yet in the lead pack.
Now they're still up there, but they're starting to fall back just a little bit. Move Big Joe Hazard. He's into that battle. He's sneaking up into the 4th position. McQuestion's still leading.
Yeah, McQuestion's not really feeling pressured at all. Oh, my
Big
earns.
blink from him there.
Oh, man, I thought I jumped. I'm like, who wrecked?
Still about a pack of 10 cars is what's pacing around the front of Daytona here in the Steel Horse Racing TV Firecracker 200. We are beyond halfway, so folks, print your boarding passes. This race is official in case we get that virtual rain like we saw a couple weeks ago in Iowa.
And if you're looking down turns number 1 and 2, if you can look in the background outside the racetrack, if you do get the view of it, you can see the planes land.
I'm keeping my eye up there on Carroll. They've gotten a little bit of help with Norm Pelletier, Calvin Filarski. Got 4 cars strong up to the top side. But is that going to be enough to get up there? I think McQuestion has shown all of a sudden that he has a very strong machine out there, and he's pacing out front. Looking off the rear bumper of Carroll, he's staring down the front bumper of Mahan. And there you see the bottom lane start to creep up just a little bit. There's Tommy Ryan. He's got Rich Jetty pushing him. Top lane starting to work up just a little bit. Carroll's worked his way up side by side with Krahula coming to the line this time.
And these guys are given a lot of room, more than usual, as far as the side drafting is concerned, which is a really good thing. We've seen that outside line really work well.
It's up to second now. It's Drew Carroll giving that new sponsor, Elite Custom Graphics, giving them a great showing in their debut race on the hood and quarter panels of that 87 machine.
Battle for the lead.
He's gotten his run up to the front. He's got Mahan pushing him side by side going into turn 3. Carroll top. McQuestion bottom. They're 2x2 for 3 rows again. Who's going to prevail out of turn 4? Looks like it's going to be the 93 of McQuestion.
Let's not wreck here, boys.
They've made it so far so good. 37 laps to go.
You got
Still
cars
looking.
exiting.
I'm looking at the alternative strategy guys here. So really, I think this could work out for Marshall, Cohan, Cadell. Their lap times are pretty close to the leaders. Oh, we got a car spinning off the back. Who was that?
Uh-oh.
Was that Sanchez? That was Sanchez in the 4. What happened to him? They came out of turn 2 and I saw smoke.
Jason Swan, Danny Sanchez, and Scott Eckertson boys have just pitted, and there's Danny Sanchez
boy.
coming off turn number 2 for a spin.
Oh.
He hit the apron.
That apron is pretty tricky to try to get up to speed. And there you see, he just gets it de-wedges the car, and he just spins out to the inside. Oh, there goes those tires. Those are already, there goes about $1,500.
Yeah, he saved it, but that can really get a car out of whack is by transitioning from a flat apron to a 31 degrees of banking corner, and it's just not. It just upsets the car too much.
It is Carroll, power move to the outside. He gets up front with a great shove off of the front of Woodrow Mahan, but he's left Mahan up there in the top group. Mahan has Norman. Whoa, he gets really close to the back of the 93, but he's going to give the 07 a good shot out of the corner. Here comes Mahan. Great shot from Norman. They're going to be side by side to the line. Give that lap to Mahan. That was a power move.
Oh man, he's stuck now.
Oh
no. Woodrow, yeah, your partner's abandoned you there, buddy.
McQuestion saying he's going to hit pit road. It wouldn't surprise me to see Norm there just as soon as I said it. He's going to say he's hitting pit road. Those two are teammates. Keep that in mind. Alpha Tango Racing.
I bet more guys are going to hit pit road this lap as well.
Let's see here. Who's saying? A couple of guys saying they're going to hit pit road. There's the 56. There's the 93. The one is off there. Oh, contact between Mahan and Krahula. Oh, Norm hits the grass. I think he overcooked the entrance to pit road just a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't get a speeding penalty for old Storm and Norman there.
I tell you what, pit road is very treacherous at Daytona. As I said before, transitioning from 199 miles an hour to 60 miles an hour is a very tough thing to do.
Battle for the lead up front. Ricky Harden pushed Carroll out just a little bit, made it seem like he was going to follow him up to the top side and jump down to the bottom to pick up his teammate Krahula. So move Harden and Krahula out front coming off of turn 4.
Norman Pelletier, from what I'm hearing, he just got the black flag. Yeah, he's rolling in now.
Sitting in the stall for probably an unsafe pit entry. That's a shame. Norman was giving that one a great showing tonight.
Bad gone.
Gerald Livingston out front of our leaders now. I don't think he's going to be too much of a threat here.
Well, update on the lucky dog scenario here. Jason Galvin, if the caution should come out, he would receive the lucky dog. And right behind him is Scott Eckert, who is also 1 lap down. So that's a lucky dog battle right there. But I believe they're more focused on working together.
Oh, here comes Harden, Krahula, basically all of Unacceptable Racing, and they're bringing Mahan, Jetty, Carroll with them.
Oh, no!
Wow, look at that.
That's going to be a speeding penalty.
That has to be a speeding penalty. I don't think any way around it.
Oh, man, he
hit the timing line at about 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, he was 77 miles an hour at the timing line.
And he's sitting in his pit stall. Yep, speeding penalty entering for Ricky Harden. That's a shame.
I know he was really looking forward to this too.
I saw him. He was trying to get aggressive on entry. I think he just pushed the envelope a little too far.
Yeah, he got on the minors a little too hard there, and it was not enough to woe down the car.
Coleman and Lacrosse both hitting pit road.
Yeah, they were on the radio just chit-chatting, saying, hey, man, I got you. Don't worry about it.
So now the leaders, as they stand right now, Tommy Ryan, Rich Jetty, James Krahula, Drew Carroll, Woodrow Mahan are your top 5. And then you've got Calvin Filarski and Travis McQuestion back there. And then the Steel Horse Brigade of Cadell, Marshall, and Cohan.
Chad Coleman just lost his partner, I believe. Unless Chad Coleman's going to decide to wait for him, because Coleman took 2 tires. Matt Lacrosse just took 4.
Well, 30 laps to go here in Daytona. This is where I think that, we were talking to these guys ahead of time. I think now you've got to try to make your move. This is the time to do it. If there's no more, I don't think there's no more safe zone. I think you've got to go for it now, especially with the way that these pit stops keep cycling out, and we know that these guys have to make one more stop.
Well, the more the pit stops continue, the more it's shrinking the big packs. And so, I mean, right now, if you got to go, you got to go now, because we're 30 laps to go here.
Rich Jetty is following in the rear tire tracks of Tommy Ryan as he clicks off another lap. 29 to go this time. You got your top 3, like I said, with Ryan and Jetty and Krahula.
Oh, wow, they got a 3-car gap back here. That's Jonathan Cadell, Alec Marshall, and Nick Cohan all on the high side, leaving Woodrow Mahan on the inside by himself.
I think Carroll said that he was going to come back and work with Mahan. So now I think Steel Horse is still trying to stick together there, but they jumped up to the top, and now the bottom side is going to prevail as well, because they've got the 87 is fast, and so is the 07. They've both shown their might, or shown a little bit of muscle tonight.
Think we're going to get a caution before this race is over there, Brian?
I don't know. The way these guys are driving, there's bound to be one, but I've seen stranger things. We could go completely green from start to finish.
So we got Tommy Ryan, Rich Jetty, James Krahula, and Chad Coleman all in the pack. Or actually, I mean, they're in the top 4. That Calvin Filarski, Chad Coleman does. Or not Calvin Filarski, excuse me. Number 83 was blinking on my screen. That is Mark Norbert.
Now I think the Steel Horse team is prevailing. Move Cadell up to position 5. Cohan's trying to follow Marshall, and now he's got enough clearance. So there, Steel Horse Racing working really, really good together in the early parts of this, or basically throughout the entire race. I don't think these guys have left each other's bumpers once.
Now they should catch Mark Norbert, Chad Coleman pretty soon, and then once they catch them, they should be able to catch James Krahula, Rich Jetty, and Tommy Ryan by staying single file like that.
Yeah, that's going to be the case. More Ricky Hardin. He's leading, showing a lot of might. He's 20 seconds off the lead because of that speeding penalty.
Speeding
Joe
penalties
Hassert must have got a speeding penalty too. He's back there.
Yeah, he was running in the top 10
well,
throughout
look
the
at
night.
look at the pit time.
Oh, yeah.
That
Speeding
screams
penalty.
speeding penalty.
Oh, boy. Single file all the way back here with Jonathan Cadell, Alec Marshall, Nick Cohen, all in a row together.
Boys are making it work, that's for sure. That lead is shrinking between the top pack and the next pack behind them.
I'm a little concerned with Woodrow Mahan. I mean, he's kind of falling back here. He's losing them guys ahead just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Not too terribly much, though.
No, but, I mean, he doesn't want to lose those guys ahead because that's going to be very unfortunate for Woodrow Mahan.
It is. Poor Woodrow showing a lot of might tonight. It's almost like these guys need a caution to just kind of reset everything, especially, we're 25 laps. Anywhere inside of here, if you hit pit road, you're good to go to the end. So a caution here would almost be a reset.
Yep. They would need to do water bottle and new pair of shorts to get this thing to the end here.
Maybe an ice pack down the driver's seat.
Exactly. I wonder how much these drivers are really sweating on their steering wheels.
Oh, I'm sure there's quite a bit of sweat perspiring off the faces and the hands of these drivers in those AdvoCare Cup cars.
Tommy Ryan still leading the race with Rich Jetty in second, James Krahula in third place. That's the top three cars, 1, 2, 3, single file, doing everything they can just to pull away. Right behind them is a fourth place car, is Chad Coleman, and right
Tommy
behind
Ryan
him,
saying he's going to hit pit road.
Uh-oh.
As soon as that pit window opens, here comes the 6. Is Rich Jetty going to follow with him? How about Krahula back there? I would imagine Krahula's going to follow.
Yep,
there
that's
they
the plan.
go. Jetty getting really aggressive onto the binder.
Ready.
Did he get it?
I don't think he did. Mahan's
out mowing the grass. He just overshot the entrance there. That's tough.
Oh, that's actually going to be a penalty for an unsafe pit entrance.
I wonder if this is going to be a fuel-only stop right here.
You would think.
I don't see any tires going up. Yeah, fuel only.
Fuel only.
Fill the tank up and get us to the end as Tommy Ryan leads off of pit road.
Now, these guys know they can make it to the end.
Yep, so now, if you're in the driving seat of everybody else out there, Coleman's saying he's going to hit pit road, but I bet you if you're Steel Horse, you know you can easily go another chunk of laps here. Oh, Coleman all by himself.
Oh, man, that's Mr. Lonely right there. And Woodrow Mahan now getting off pit road. He did have to serve a penalty for a unsafe. Oh, he's going to spin it.
Oh, is he going to keep it down?
Oh, boy. He may have to.
Yeah, he saved it. He's going.
He saved it, but he got a penalty for an unsafe pit entrance. That's very unfortunate for Woodrow Mahan.
Here comes Steel Horse. Cadell saying down the backstretch they're going to hit pit road. Here comes Cohen. Marshall's going to follow in. Now, how about Filarski and McQuestion?
I mean, I would follow.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
That's pretty much the lead pack right there. If you can catch Tommy Ryan,
Here comes
McQuestion
McQuestion with him.
Oh, wow. Look at Nick Cohen. Far inside wall.
Ooh, don't hit your teammates.
Oh, he spins.
Oh, Filarski spinning.
Oh.
Wow. I'm imagining fuel only is going to be the strategy here. Oh, Marshall overshot his pit.
Oh, no.
Oh,
nope,
right side tires up in the air for Cohen. And Cadell. And Marshall.
Oh, no, Cadell hit the inside wall. He just tapped it just a little bit.
I think he's all right.
He might be all right.
Is he in the 93 or... That's an interesting way to graph. There they go.
What you doing inside my car, boy?
I haven't heard of ghosting. That was interesting.
What you doing inside my car, boy?
Well, that pack of cars right there is not for position. There might be.
That's
for
Joe
position. I got to
Hazard.
figure out what's going on here.
That's Ricky Harden.
Here comes Ryan and Jetty.
Oh, wow,
Big head of
big.
steam for
I'll tell
Tommy
you what,
Ryan and Rich Jetty.
That's a pretty
Here's a
big
name I
pack.
haven't said all night. Scott Eckrich.
Where'd he come from?
He's riding up there. He's stretching the end of that fuel tank, I think, about as far as he can go. He can probably go about another 6-7 laps.
He was a lap down here, folks.
But now this is going to be interesting, and it's going to be crucial to see when they make their final pit stop, because Tommy Ryan, Rich Jetty, James Krahula, they can all make it. Let's see, who else hasn't pitted? Eckrich hasn't, Galvin hasn't, Wright hasn't, and pretty much everybody else. So how it's going to cycle out is going to be Norman Pelletier, Joe Hasser, Scott Eckrich, Jason Galvin, and Jake Wright all still have to make a pit stop. I think they're banking on a caution.
Yeah.
They're going to run that tank as far as it'll go and hope for a caution to give themselves a shot back into this thing.
Ricky Harden is the race leader, but look at this. Ricky Harden may be the race leader, but he's using a lap car as a pick, who's running pretty much the same speed as the race leader.
Well, it's not a bad strategy.
And get this, you're saving more gas drafting. That's a good strategy call.
I'm kind of listening to some of the chatter here. I think McQuestion was pleading with Cadell to get him caught up and said, if you guys let me catch up, we can go to the front. Gerald Livingston saying he's going to hit pit road. Here comes Harden. Or Harden's to say 10-4. There goes Harden off by himself. Harden banking on a caution. He can go about another 10 laps.
He could, but he just lost a drafting partner.
Oh, now he's going to fall back into the clutches of Norm Pelletier, Danny Sanchez, Jason Swan, Joe Hassert. Cycle around with 18 laps to go this time. Norm Pelletier going to be cycling up front. He's going to be catching the leaders. About a 5-second gap up there between Norm, Big Joe, and up there to Harden. Tommy Ryan about 4 seconds off of that second pack.
Yeah, this is a big train right here. Tommy Ryan on back. Holy cow. Oh, watch the yellow line, boys.
They're getting squirrely. I think that big one is waiting to strike. These drivers have been patient, calm, and green for 63 laps.
Oh boy, getting down to it.
It's going to be interesting here. Gap shrinking 4 seconds. I mean, Ricky Harden by himself is basically just a sitting duck. He's got Woodrow in front of him. That's going to help a little bit.
He does, but he's got the big packs just catching him. I mean, yeah, Woodrow Mahan does help, but usually you want more cars to work with to keep carrying that high speed, because down the backstretch, Ricky Harden, he's only going 197 compared to everybody else's 199. That's 2 miles an hour difference, and that means a lot at a track like this.
Absolutely it does. I'm keeping my eye on the second pack, because that's where, once the pit stops cycle out, that's where this lead is going to be. It's going to be a battle between Ryan and Jetty and Krahula, and I have a feeling Carroll's going to be back there. Not, yeah, Carroll's going to be back there. He's on the same strategy as those boys.
Scott Eckrich, highest he's been all night. I know he started second, but he pulled down at his pit stall at the start of the race to start in the back of the pack. He's up to 6th.
He's begging for a caution. I think he's screaming to race control. There's debris everywhere.
Yeah, there's debris on the entrance of pit road.
Now I'm kind of watching off that after that gap too. Cadell, the pack of Cadell, McQuestion, Cohan, those guys are starting to reel in that second pack. They're 4 cars strong, and they're 4 fast cars. Coleman, Cohan, Cadell, and McQuestion. Goodness gracious, that's a lot of same vowels right next to each other.
It definitely is, and the cars we know that can make it is Tommy Ryan, Rich Jetty, and James Krahula.
I'm just keeping my eye on the gaps. That's all. Now it's about 3 seconds between the second pack and the third pack.
Boy, it's not a really big gain where Ricky Harden is right now, is it? This ain't gonna be good. I don't think. If they go side by side,
Team saying he's going to hit pit road this time. I'm going to go jump back and look at that. That's the 18 and the 4. Both are going to get out of the way of Norm. Oh, here comes Norm and Joe Hasser. hitting pit roads. That's going to be
cars.
clear sailing on the track for Tommy Ryan and Rich Jetty. Oh, and Eckrich hits pit road too.
Jake Wright.
Jake Wright. He's going to start mowing the grass on the front stretch.
That ain't good.
But now here's the thing. Here's the crucial thing for Cadell. That pack has started to break up just a little bit. Now the gap between Tommy Ryan and that second pack of Coleman, Cohan, Cadell, and McQuestion. Got it right that time.
Oh no! Scott Eckrich overdrove his pit stall.
Let's see here. Galvin's getting shuffled out.
Fuel only for Scott Eckrich down pit road here, folks.
Oh, McQuestion, he's battling with Galvin. Is Galvin going to let him go? I think so. That's going to make that pack 5 cars now. Is Galvin on that same strategy? No, Galvin's going to hit pit road this time.
Galvin's going to hit.
Getting up out of the way.
Update
now
on
the gap between Coleman and the rear bumper of Carroll is about, let's see here, about 2.3 seconds. 2.2 seconds now. That's going to be the race for the win here if this thing stays green. How fast can Coleman catch the rear bumper of Carroll, which is going to be that second pack catching what's going to eventually be the lead pack? I think if you're Ricky Hard, you run that fuel tank as far as you can possibly take it. He's going to be probably about 5 or 6 laps short, though, so he's banking on a caution here somewhere.
The way I see it for Ricky Harden is he's begging on the caution. I mean, there's no way he's going to win this race right now, in my opinion, because if this stays green, he hits pit road, and you know cars behind you can make it to the end for position, I should say. That's not not good, especially if you're trying to win the race.
If you're Ricky Harden, you're sitting on the hot stove trying to sweat ice water right now.
Yep, you're begging on a caution.
Really, that's his only play here at the end of this.
Update on Jake Wright. He did serve a unsafe pit entrance down on pit road when he was down there, so that's a penalty. Very unfortunate for Jake Wright here tonight.
It's unfortunate. Good effort for him tonight. Was up front early. He was not going to be. Luck is not going to play the hand in the way of that 27 machine. Now, back out front, the gap is kind of stabilized out between the rear bumper of Carroll to the front bumper of Coleman. That gap's hanging right about 2.5 seconds.
It's getting closer, though.
It's closer, but it's not close enough. With 11 laps to go, these guys have to start reeling them in. Probably about 0.2 a lap if they want to get up there and race for the lead.
I agree, but I don't see Ricky Harden making it to the end, though. Unless he's...
No, Ricky Harden he's creeping back. He's falling back into the clutches of that first pack being led by Ryan.
Right, and he's saving as much gas as he can by riding in the draft, which is not causing him to go full throttle. He can go for about 3/4 throttle here, just behind the car.
10 laps to go at Daytona. This time by Ricky Harden, your leader, but for how much longer is the question. Tommy Ryan leading that second pack with Jetty, Krahula, and Carroll. The story is now Carroll. He's got the second pack of Coleman, Cohan, Cadell, McQuestion, about 2 seconds off of that pack. If these guys start getting racing up in that front pack and they start getting side by side, that second pack is going to be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, definitely, and these drivers are so far single file up front, keeping Ricky Harden, the race leader, in the middle here in the draft where you're going to save the gas the most. And, man, I don't know. I just don't see Ricky Harden making it to the end here. I think it's going to be a battle between Tommy Ryan and Rich Jetty and James Krahula and them guys.
I mean, Ricky Harden is 23 laps on that tank of fuel. He would have to stretch that another 9 laps. That would be. I'd pull him down for post-race inspection on the fuel tank for that machine.
You're asking a lot. I'm sorry, but you're asking a lot, especially here at Daytona. And Daytona, it's really hard to save gas here, especially when you're on the throttle majority of the time.
Here's what's going to be the blessing for Coleman, Carroll, Cohan, and Cadell. The front pack is starting to reel in Ricky Harden just a little bit, and once that pack catches them, that's going to actually slow them down. Here comes Jetty looking to the inside with 8 laps to go, this time coming to the stripe. I have a feeling that the racing and the intensity is going to start picking up up front. There's not going to be a whole lot of patience left for these guys. They're going to start getting after it.
They're coming. I mean, they're there.
Yeah, here comes Ryan up to the rear bumper of Eckrich now. Eckrich a lap down, hanging out right behind Ricky Harden. Oh, Tommy Ryan's up on the top side by himself. He's got He's up there next side, on the outside of Eckrich.
Oh boy, that ain't good for Tommy
That's going to
Ryan.
move Jetty to the lead. Jetty is going to take the lead following the draft of Eckrich. Jetty to the lead. 7 laps to go this time.
And,
Here
Rick
comes Harden to pit road.
Harden's in. That will give the race lead to Rich Jetty.
That it will. Rich Jetty to the lead. 7 laps to go. Can that driver of that number 7 machine hang on? He's going to have to hold on pretty strong, though, because now Ryan and Krahula, teammates, have hooked up behind him. Expect the 6 and the 24 to make a move. Where is Carroll going to play into this? He's kind of the variable. Now, here's the other thing to keep in mind. About 4 laps to go is going to be the caution, or is going to be the magical mark. Anything inside of 4 laps to go, a caution will end that. So are you trying to race to 4 to go, or are you trying to race to the white flag?
As of right now, you're racing to the white flag, or actually maybe to the 4 to go spot, because if you can race to 4 to go and you're still looking like this, Rich Jetty will be in the popcorn seat because he would be hoping for a caution so he would win the race. But if caution does not come out, you're racing to that white flag.
If you're Rich Jetty, you're in a great position. You're picking off the rears, the bumper in the draft of Woodrow Mahan and Scott Eckrich, 2 very fast cars. He's actually opening up a small gap over Ryan and Krahula and Carroll.
He is, and Tommy Ryan, James Krahula, and Drew Carroll, they have to stay single file in order to catch Rich Jetty's back bumper. And then if that's the case, if they get to that back bumper, look for those guys to battle to the outside lanes.
3 seconds back from Carroll to Cohan. I don't see them guys.
He caught him.
See, here comes Ryan. 6 to go, 5 laps to go at the Firecracker 200. On board with Ryan. How long is he going to wait behind Jetty when you pull out to make the move? Because you're about to enter no man's land right here with 4 laps to go.
I'm telling you, it's tick-tock, and that clock's getting louder. So, oh boy, here's this big thing right here. Rich Jetty could probably use the lap cars as a pick. That's technically how he got the lead.
That is. He's following right on the tire tracks of Eckrich and Mahan. 2 very strong horses. Pardon the steel horse racing pun, but 2 strong horses to be riding behind.
Here's
Carroll
the problem.
falling off the rear bumper of Krahula just a little bit.
Here's a big problem. You're catching a pack of 4 cars right here. What do you do?
Oh, this could shuffle everything up. 4 laps to go now. We have entered no man's land. Sanchez going high. He's going to get out of the way. Eckrich is still leading the charge for Jetty. He's got Mahan in front of him. Galvin up there. Are they going to stay in line? Galvin and Norman and Big Joe, they're going to hold the bottom. That's going to drag them up to the top. Jetty is going to come back down a little bit, float the middle. He's got to protect the bottom from Ryan because Ryan has a teammate. Jetty does not. Here comes Ryan up to the rear bumper. They're going to try to hang out Galvin. Tommy Ryan to the inside. 3 laps to go in Daytona.
Use the lappers as a pick, too.
It is, and it's working. Now Ryan back up top. They're side by side for position. Woodrow Mahan is battling off of the door of Joe Hasser. That's going to get them side by side. That's going to let that backpack hopefully catch up.
If you're Tommy Ryan, what do you do?
He's got nowhere to go. You have to follow in the tire tracks of Jetty at the moment.
If you're going to make something happen, man, if you think you can hold 3 wide here, you better make that outside lane work.
He's got to hope. But here's the thing for Ryan. He has a teammate in Krahula. 2 laps to go at the stripe this time. And it's 5 miles separating Rich Jetty from his first AdvoCare Cup Series win. They storm into turn 2. He has Eckrich in front of him. He's got Ryan behind him. Norm down to the inside. That car is off the lead lap. Now, if you're Jetty, where do you try to block? Do you try to block top?
Oh, no, there we go.
He's going to try to follow Eckrich. Here comes Ryan up to the top.
Oh, no.
Eckrich is going to go up and throw a pick. Eckrich throws a pick on Ryan.
Oh, no, look at
Krahula to the bottom. That's going to leave Jetty by himself in the middle of the track all alone. Eckrich is getting out of the way. They're going to line up. They're going to line up side by side. Coming to the white flag. 1 more lap at Daytona. They're 3 wide back behind Jetty.
They're going to wreck.
This is going to end it, folks.
Oh, boy. Oh, things are heating up here in Daytona, folks.
This is it. Krahula down to the bottom. He has the help of Ryan.
Battle
if you're Jetty, how hard do you pinch there? They're working their way through turn 2. Jetty has no help. He's trying to side drift off of Krahula. Contact. He's going to drift up. Now Tommy Ryan falling in line. Norm Pelletier gets out of the way. Jumps down to the bottom.
Oh, there goes Ryan. Ryan's thinking about it.
Ryan's going to try to jump up to the outside. That's a teammate battle going into turns 3 and 4. Krahula leading his way around. He's got the draft of Joe Hassert coming off of turn 4 for the final time. Ryan goes high. Krahula to block.
Not gonna get
Ryan
there.
goes down. Ryan's going to have the draft at the line. It's Krahula winning at Daytona.
Unbelievable. I'm telling you, we were talking about photo finishes like we seen at Talladega earlier this season, and also what happens in real life NASCAR. You just seen another one here, folks. What a race, what a finish.
Separation of victory 2/100ths of a second.
What a race, folks. I mean, you can't ask for any kind of better restrictor plate racing than that. Caution-free race. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Tell you what, Krahula's happy. And you want to know the funny part is, James Krahula led exactly 1 lap.
And the last lap, which is the one that counts.
That's the lap that the pay window opens. That number 24 AdvoCare machine painted up all nice and pretty in stars and stripes for the 4th of July weekend, Independence Day weekend coming up. He's down there in turn 1. Is he going to do a salute to the fans?
Well, James Krahula is finally going to join the 2 wins list with Drew Carroll, because that will put James Krahula up there around the 3rd spot in the chase standings, folks.
There we go, on board with Krahula. Salute to the fans. Driver's side to the window, or to the fans. Fingers out. Now, is he going to come through there and cut it loose on the front stretch? Fireworks are going off. I don't think we got a camera angle to catch that, but you can hear the fireworks in the background.
Tell you what, there were fireworks in the race, and there's fireworks after the race.
James Krahula not missing an opportunity to give the broadcasters some fun. All right, we're going to watch Krahula and whatever he's going to do now. We're going to come back on the other side. We're going to take our break, our only break of the race, and we're going to come back on the other side with a full field rundown, post-race driver interviews. James Krahula, 2nd time in victory lane on the year, winner of the Steel Horse Racing TV Firecracker 200 at Daytona. We'll be back.
Hello race fans, Jonathan Cadell here, driver of the number 11 Steelhorse TV Toyota Camry, proud sponsors of tonight's Firecracker 200. At Steelhorse TV, I provide live, unfiltered, unedited, in-car iRacing action. But since this is a PG commercial, let's keep it that way.
You've got to be kidding me. Have damage now, whole night. That dumb
So if you're ever looking for some raw racing action, or just want a laugh at my expense, grab your favorite drink and head on over to twitch.tv/SteelHorseRacingTV and enjoy the fun.
Welcome back to Daytona. There's the fireworks at the Steel Horse Racing GD Firecracker 200. James Krahula getting his second win on the season in a thrilling fashion, a dogfight really between Tommy Ryan, Rich Jetty. We're going to have both of those guys in the interview. We're going to have all three of them in the post-race interviews. Look at them fireworks. That's all pretty. Let's do a full field rundown. As we talked about, James Krahula, your winner. Oh, that's nice, director. That's nice with the fireworks going off. I like that. Tommy Ryan second, Rich Jetty third, Drew Carroll in fourth, Nick Cohan strong run in fifth, Jonathan Cadell sixth, Travis McQuestion in seventh, not bad for your debut showing in the Premier Racing League, eighth to Chad Coleman, Matt Lacrosse ninth, and Calvin Filarski strong run in 10th.
And outside the top 10, you got Alec Marshall. Nice finish for him tonight. I'm sure he would like more, but he's going to have to settle with 11th tonight. Ricky Harn in 12th, finishing in 12th place tonight, could not make it on fuel. 13th place is Big Joe Hazard. 14th place, last car in the lead lap is Woodrow Mahan, and these drivers about to name off are a lap down or more. That is Scott Eckrich. Started second tonight, but decided to fall to the back. He'll finish 15th. 16th place is Jason Galvin. 17th place is Norm Pelletier. Jake Wright in 18th. Danny Sanchez in 19th. And rounding out the top 20 is Jason Swan.
Mark Norbert, 21st, 22nd to Gerald Livingston, Don Ruggles Jr., 23rd, 24th to Jeff Ryan, 25th to DJ Beverly, 26th, Jeff Warden, not turning a lap, Josh Parker tonight, and that's unfortunate for Josh Parker. Strong run, but someone that is probably going to be excited about the run that they had tonight. Rich Jetty, top three finish. You had the momentum at the end. We all thought that you played the perfect strategy there to sneak up behind your teammate in the lap down car and get up there and steal the win. So was that the plan all along, or did that just kind of unfold that way?
I think it just kind of unfolded that way. I came up on him, and he was pushing another lap car, and I was kind of trying to tell him to go by him, but I don't know how the cars behind us were going to go, but just luck that he was there, and he helped me. It was close, about a lap away, but next time, I guess.
Wishing it was the 199 lap or 199 mile at Daytona, but still a strong showing. Great for your chase standings and your championship hopes. I mean, you came in 13th in points, but hey, a third place finish is going to get you more of a cushion over that 16th place buffer.
Yeah, I've been slipping a little bit the last few weeks. Thankfully, I had a decent run, enough to get back up there in points and get a buffer, and hopefully no other winners below knock me down further. But that's what I needed. It was a decent run to regain some points that I've been losing pretty recently.
Absolutely. Now, with the series, we're kind of taking an Independence Day week-long break, and we're going to come back on the other side at Circuit of the Americas. How you feel about that one?
I don't think I own that track yet, so when I get it, I'll get it.
There you go. Rich, any final thoughts before we send you on your way for your third place finish tonight?
I just want to thank all the admins that run the show, James, Ricky, everybody that does anything else behind the scenes that I'm not fully aware about. All you guys, I don't get to watch many of the races, but I always hear that they're very, very entertaining. And thanks to all the Steel Horse guys for having me.
Sounds good, Rich. We'll see you 2 weeks down the road at Circuit of the Americas.
Thank you.
All right, so now we've moved on from Rich. Tanner, you've caught up with our runner-up. 2/100ths of a second kept him away from victory lane, but Tanner, you've caught up with Tommy.
I have caught up with Tommy Ryan, and Tommy's ever so close on capturing a win here in Daytona, but you are part of history on making one of them photo finishes here at Daytona. Tell me about those last few laps. Was there anything you probably could have done different to try to get that victory away from James Krahula?
Maybe take it forward wide with the 70 there that picked me up. That was a little dirty, but teammates are going to do what teammates do. But it was a chess match, man. You had to take chances and see what worked. I was planning on going 3 wide, and I didn't know if somebody would jump up there and try to throw the block being a lap car or not. So had to take it, and then it didn't happen. And Rich was up there by himself. I was like, nope. teammates is teammates now. My teammate will win before you do. So I dropped in behind James, and we went to the line. And at that point, it's every man for himself. And James did what he had to do, and I was trying to do what I needed to do without. I thought about diving to the apron there, but I knew I'd get penalized. So I just tried to side draft off of him. It didn't have enough asphalt to get there.
I'll tell you what, all night you started on the pole here tonight at Daytona, and you're probably, actually, if I'm not mistaken, you are one of the only guys that pretty much stayed in the top 5 pretty much throughout this whole race, with the exception of the green flag pit stops. Tell us, how were you able to hang out in that top 5 pack? It just seemed like you didn't really had too much of a drafting partner in the early stages of a race.
I got good teammates, man, that have great pit strategy. James and Ricky are the brains of the whole team, and they say win the pit, and that's what I do. But yeah, we had a strategy going in from all the way from qualifying all the way to the checkered. So it all played out. A lot of my teammates got caught up in stuff on pit road that shouldn't have happened, and Ricky got caught speeding, which was really unfortunate. We thought we might be in a lot of trouble with so many teammates out of it. But we've done a lot of plate racing in our online careers, so we knew what to do.
Yeah, definitely. And this draft package certainly did not make it easy for you guys, but you guys knew what you were doing out there. It was just trying to get an extra tank of fuel, or what do you do to try to pass the race lead around other cars too. So otherwise you'll have to settle with the second place tonight. But before we wrap up this interview here at Daytona, we're not racing next week. 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to you if I don't talk to you at all. And in 2 weeks, we're going to the Circuit of the Americas. How do you feel about the Gen 6 Cup cars at Circuit of the Americas?
This thing's so heavy feeling on road courses, man, and I've got to do a good bit of practice there. I'm not as good as I want to be yet. So it's going to take some work.
All right, Tommy. Well, before I finally let you go here, so you can go and probably celebrate your second place tonight, if that's even a celebration there. But I mean, you gotta have that confidence still in you that you can run that good tonight. I mean, I was really impressed tonight by the run you guys were having, caution free. I mean, can't complain with that. As you guys put on a great performance on the track. Is there anything you'd like to say before we let you go?
Oh yeah, thanks to my sponsor Northern Tool, and obviously thanks to Steel Horse for sponsoring the race, and AdvoCare for sponsoring the series. Always check out our Facebook page, Unacceptable Racing. And thanks to you guys putting on a great show, man. It's always fun to watch.
Thank you, Tommy Ryan, for taking the time for this interview here on Global Sim Racing Channel at Daytona International Speedway. That was Tommy Ryan, folks, who finishes second in an ever so close battle to the line. And I believe Brian has caught up with our race winner, James Krahula, down in Victory Lane here in Daytona.
The Gatorade is spraying. Some AdvoCare Spark is on the ground. James Krahula, you find yourself in Victory Lane for the second time this year. And guess how many laps you led tonight, bud?
I believe it was the last one.
That's the right one to lead. So talk us through those last couple laps. I mean, you were riding kind of behind Jetty and Ryan, and were you just kind of letting the race unfold, or did you kind of have a plan, or did something just kind of fall into your lap there?
Well, you'd like to think that you have control with these racetracks, but you really don't. So we just had our pit strategy that we hoped that worked out well, and it did. We were the best on and off pit road all night, hands down. And then after that, we pitted as soon as our fuel window opened, because we knew that we're good at drafting in a small group. And then the big thing was just working together to make sure that second pack did not catch us. Well, we come up on some lap cars, and that pulled us away, and that allowed us to kind of race there. And I mean, and that was interesting. I haven't been involved in a finish that has people racing for the lead lap and everything here. So that was that was new to watch that, and it definitely turned into a chess match and everything at that point. And I was going to stick with Tommy to push him to the lead, and he was going to go 3 wide and everything on the outside. And then that's when I realized it's like Drew's gone. might go down low. I'm gonna have all these people here in front of me, and and somehow that worked. I don't know how. So I just picked the open lane, and I snuck by and stole a win, and I'm tickled to death with that. And Tommy almost got me there at the end. I was just trying to block him, keep him behind me there, and that was absolutely great. It was great working with Tommy and Rich. We pretty much worked together the entire last half of the race. So, and also communicating with someone that isn't on your team too. That's a real fun one, to try and type a private message during the middle of the race and everything. But that was great. And wow, I've been talking a lot.
It's all right. You won at Daytona, so the excitement is inevitable.
At Daytona. Hold on, I'm gonna pick. I have a bone to pick with you. How many races?
This was gonna come.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. This was race 17 of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. And I'm sure you said it tonight too. I haven't watched the broadcast yet, but I'm sure you said it. So that's 16 times where you made some type of reference to Krahula not knowing how to merge. Well, you gonna leave me alone now that I've won at Daytona?
I'm a man of my word. You have avenged your demons of Daytona. You have conquered them, and you've gone into victory lane. And I really probably only mentioned it 10 times. There's a couple races I let it go.
Well, that's mighty cordial of you, Brian, and I really appreciate that. This is fun. I love these plate tracks, but it's such a crapshoot. I wanted to get a plate race. Daytona's even better too. I can't thank Ricky enough. I can't thank you guys enough. I can't thank the members of this league enough. Also, Steel Horse Racing. They've sent so many of their members over here to race with us, and they have our full back. Jonathan Cadell has recruited probably the most people besides Ricky and I to this league through his Twitch stream and Steel Horse Racing TV. I can't thank him enough too, and everyone around this league to help create it. I mean, it's a village that we have here. Everyone's working together, and we ran caution free at freaking Daytona. That's awesome. We have such great support. Everyone in this league is great. I'm just tickled to death with everyone here. Hold on, I didn't have a can of beer, so I had to stick with the bottle. So this is my little shout out to George Anzaldo over at Lionheart. There's a glass. Cheers to you, buddy. This is awesome.
That's definitely that. So, I mean, as the race progressed, you realized it was going to go green. Did you feel like you had the right strategy all along? And now that, I mean, obviously you ended up in victory lane, so that was the right way. But at any point, did you kind of question that?
I mean, the only thing that I was worried about was the yellow coming out, because I knew that we were the best on and off pit road. I knew that we know how to work really well together at these plate tracks. Tommy and I don't even need to talk with each other. We know what we're going to do. And there was, if it played out the way that we did, I knew that I would be fighting for, at least in the top group, in the group that was fighting for the win. And, when you're back there in third, you know that you're pretty much screwed. I was expecting to win. You don't win in that situation. And, Rich Jetty, either way, was probably going to be the odd man out, because I was going to push Tommy. And then the Red Seas parted, and I took a chance, and it wound up paying off for me. And that was pure luck at the end. Great strategy. We executed perfect and everything, but to actually get to victory lane, you got to be lucky and you got to be good. And definitely luck was on my side tonight too.
There you go. Now, one final question for you. I know you've been looking forward to this for most of the reason.
For over a year.
Yes, Circuit of the Americas is going to host an AdvoCare Cup schedule race. We got a week to prepare for it, but I know you're excited.
Yes, and we're going to get everyone out there. We'll be testing at Mid-Ohio and Circuit of the Americas next week, because you heard Rich in his interview, he doesn't even own a track, and there's a lot of people, when we were testing here in the off season to see if this is even feasible to run these horrible handling cars on road courses, and we go to a Formula One track. We tested and everything, and the first couple laps and everything, people were just like, I don't know where the turn is, and everyone was mad and grumbling. And then a couple minutes in, like 5, 10, 20 minutes in, all of a sudden people was like, this is really, really fun, and everyone got really excited about this. And and I also got to thank everyone showing up and with the numbers that we have to allow us to run these races and these road courses that, honestly set us aside and give us the most unique schedule in stock car racing on iRacing. Hands down, no one can argue with that. We have the most unique and all-around schedule all around. I hope that it really goes well. Turn 1 should be awesome.
Yeah, now, we're done with it. We're on the road. Dare I ask, any final thoughts before we let you go and celebrate your victory?
Just thanks to everyone again with the league. I mean, I don't expect to win these races anymore. I felt like I kind of lucked into the situation at Rockingham and again tonight. So I don't know how I've won 2 of these races because we have people coming in like Scott Eckridge and Drew Carroll. You have Jeff Ward. You have all these other guys that are coming in here, and I've been from 5th to 20th. We're all right there, and it's every now and again we can kind of sneak up there, and we can kind of sneak into that top 5 and everything. But you have to just be on in this league, and I've never been anything a part of it before. And my only hope is that I could keep growing it and keep doing right by my members that support me, and continue to grow and continue to have fun and have awesome races like this in the future.
Sounds great. We will see you in 2 weeks at COTA. Catch you on the other side, James.
Thanks, guys.
That was a very excited James Krahula. Wrapping up our post-race interviews, James Tanner, any final thoughts for us?
Well, we see an exciting race here at Daytona. It's one of them classic races, caution-free and a side-by-side finish. You can't ask for a no better Daytona race than that. Now we get a 4th of July week off, and then we finally go to transition from a super speedway flat-out racing to a road course where stock cars don't normally ever, as far as I'm concerned, ever go to. I've driven there at Circuit of the Americas before in a stock car, and it is extremely tough. Maybe one of the toughest road courses on these guys' schedule. I'm telling you, I mean, you're taking stock 3,400-pound stock cars to a Formula One track. It's different. That's what catches my eye about this league is it's different, and I'm really looking forward to the racing that these guys are going to put on.
That's absolutely the case. So, with that being said, we're going to send it on down the road. Thank our sponsors for the race, Steel Horse Racing TV, as a presenting sponsor, AdvoCare for putting their name on the Cup Series as a whole, James Krahula for organizing the event, Savage Spinners for our pole award, and Coastal Safety Auditors for our Lucky Dog Award. We didn't see Brutus tonight, but we didn't have to, in a green flag rod. We would also like to thank the software and the hardware that we use for our broadcast that you can see listed on your screen as well. Thank you to the team today, Tanner, Amjad, and Dougie. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, you can find it at GlobalSimRacingChannel.com along with archived races and upcoming broadcasts. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel. A special thank you to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde, who both provide music for our broadcasts. Their music can be found in the locations listed on the screen as well. As we talked about, our next race after the 4th of July break is July 12th, the AdvoCare Race of the Americas at Circuit of the Americas. We also have other upcoming races for other series on screen, so check them out and mark them down on your calendar. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.